What's chusam to be alive? What's chusam? I just got a report. 1 week ago, a woman calls me up. Her friend's husband's critical. I said, Lahadam. I got a call today. You want to hear it? Off the critical. He's off the respirator. Thank you, Rabbi Yapi. Thank you, thank you, Torah anytime. Thank you, Kalaloshin. Thank you, Rabbeinu Shalom. Somebody, I want this, if somebody can translate this in English, maybe it's Lashon Kodesh. This guy's one of my chevra. He's a Sibaship. He gets together with his boys, and they all decide all the chesronis in our wives, they're younger life. All the chesronis are lies. So they take 5 chesronis and they cross them out. Brilliant. A woman, I don't know if she's Jewish. This is a report from not from Munzer, but I heard it from a reliable. A woman had a heart disease, Rahman al-Islam. And she thought all these maladies come from midos. And this woman was very, very negative. So what did she do? She wrote down on papers all the negative things she had in her life. How she hates this and she's angry at that. And again, she wrote them all on papers. She had Kenai Yehuda. I don't know if she was such a youngster. She had a lifetime of She knew she was a negative person. She took all the papers and she went into the forest. She dug a hole and dumped them all in and covered her up. And she said, no more. And she recovered completely from the heart disease. Because she saw the shirish of all tzaris comes from negative thinking. And she buried it. Isn't that brilliant? No, like a mice. She buried the whole thing, and psychologically, everything's good. From now on, we buried it. So this younger man, if anybody can translate it, I want to get he wrote it up a few pages. I don't know if I'm ready. It's a lot of work over here. I want to get this out for the public. What he does murder the Gezachen.
Thank you.
What?
Thank you.
No, it's someone else. It's all built on the Adma Shlita. That's me. Just in case you don't know who I am. I'm the Adma. Anyway, he's a Chsid. The Chsidisha, I find in my experience, the Chsidisha are my best customers. Because they are used to the Rebbe mentality. So there are Chasidish out there, seriously, who every move I make, they write down, like, go my Secha v'Sefer Nechtov. And they're Medayik, and the Rebbe did this, the Rebbe did that. And while they're at it, I'd like to get some money out of them too. I'm joking. Anyway, one of the reasons why I chose to be Rebbe, I was hoping I could get money. I was hoping to get money through that. See, the money is at me. Someone just walked in, $100. Hey, guys, give me money. I don't know what to do. It's one of my issues in life. The money keeps coming at me from other. It's okay. That's an issue I'm going to live with. That's right. You'll get Satana Zayget, Sozer Garnished. I speak like this to everybody. And I keep the faith in myself. I want to tell you my secret of success. Everybody could do it. First of all, my Hasidus is different than all other Hasidus. First of all, I don't have a shtreimel. But somebody said there's no problem with that. There's Rebbes who don't have shtreimel. You go to certain parts of the world, the Rebbe does whatever. So I'm one of those. But I have another, I'll tell you my secret. When the whole world is busy in their mind admiring Gedolei Yisrael, I'm busy admiring myself. Now, your brain is full of all kinds of messages that you get throughout your life. you see and you hear and you experience and you admire people in your life, rightfully so. You hear Hespedim. By me, I am, should I say I am, I forgot the Lashon, but I am much more involved in Hespedim on myself. I'm super selfish. Now, Rabbi Shua Schwartz, Rabbi Isa's older brother, Admei V'Eshem, he lives in Kiryat Sefer, Yidat Tzaddik, a real Novandig. He told me one day kicking him out of his house. He couldn't pay rent, his apartment. And he's telling it to me, and he laughed his head off. That's Novandig. I'm sure he lived happily ever after. Come inside, make yourself comfortable. So they're leaving. So he told me that he once met a Yid that knew the Alta from the Vadi. And he says, tell me about it. And he told me something very interesting. He was only involved in himself. What does that mean? Selfish? For sure not. It was just the opposite. But the word is of being involved in yourself is Kodesh Kadoshim in a healthy way. Being involved in all your milas. Don't care your wife, your kid, your this. It's such a waste of energy. When you see your children, did this and did that, and that's his fault and her fault and this, and you observe others. Reb Chaim Mordechai Weinkorn says that used to tell me Keseda. In your life, there's only two. There's you and the Rabbeinu Shalom. That's all there is. Nobody, you and everything else is a figment of your imagination. It's a sheker shen kamoyu. It looks real, but it's not true. All those people. How people destroy each other by worrying what each other thinks. By everything is people. Now, I just went to Dallas for Shabbos. We had a midwinter vacation, and therefore my Friday was off. I got on the plane Thursday night. They paid me a ticket to go to Dallas with my wife, and I took along my two beloved Gabbayim. One of them is Reb Yosef, sitting right here, and the other one is Rabbi Samet, Reb Shlomo Samet. He's my two Gabbayim. He came along to take pictures of me, so the whole Dallas knows what a great person I am, because he took along with a camera. Like every move I make, I'm on the air. I'm not a guy. Every move I make, call myself. So are you, Rabbi. I call myself. You ever call myself and say, every move you make, there's 1,000 malachim watching every inch. You know that? You know, there's a Meisid there. What's his name? I think it was Reb Galinsky said, somebody asked how do you go to this place? So the guy pointed his finger like this. And while he did that, 1,000 malachim came flying down from Shemaim to measure with special measuring yards exactly how much effort did he put into lifting his finger, because he's going to get schar in the next world for every inch of effort that he made. Every bit of pain, it's all on record up there. Imagine every move that a person makes. It's all going to be recorded. And right now it's being seen. Look, you want to know what's going on? My class misbehaves. What do? It's recess time. Okay. I once walked into my classroom. It was recess time. I had to go. I was walking around the hallways. It was raining outside, whatever. The kids were indoors playing kugel. There were two boys in my class that were given assignments because they hadn't done their homework. They had to sit and write a sheet of chumash and read that because they didn't do their homework. So I walked out my room, and I was sure that those kids were out of their seats, playing around like everyone else with the kugel. Since Rebbe's out, cats away, the mice will play. That's kach kibalti. Rebbe's out of the room, kids do what they want. And I went into assistant principal's office. And I told him, I have 2 kids in my class that's supposed to be doing assignment. I don't believe they're doing anything. So he says, you want to find out? He pressed a few buttons. There's your classroom. Sure enough, the 2 kids are on the floor playing kugelach, not in their seats, writing the assignments. So he smiled and he says, you want me to take care of it? I says, yeah. Okay, here it goes. So suddenly he gives a scream on the microphone. And that microphone goes directly into my classroom, He's got he has a thing. He presses buttons, he can see the whole school on different movie screens. And then he has my class. Boom, 4B. And he gives a scream, get back in your seats right now. The kids jump, whoa, what's that? Oh, they want me sugar. They started laughing a little also. And they said, what's going on? And I came in and said, no, you think we don't see what you're doing? We see everything you're doing. Get back to your seats. Hey, where's that voice coming from? So I said, this is a marshal of what's going on. Where every inch of a person's life, what's going on in your brain is being recorded right now in Shemayim. Every move you make. So, Amelia, you should be very happy because there's so many Ritzonos Tevis that are being recorded in Shemayim. You have to dance and sing with Simcha and all the good thoughts that you're having for sure. And if you're not so good, you'll do tshuva. It'll be all right. Anyway, that's the point. A person has to realize that everything he does is being recorded. Now, I don't know how I got into this, but I went to Dallas. Oh yeah, so they're watching every move I make. He watches me, Sir Yosef reminds me that what he records me is Ein Zach. Here's a Maisa with J.J. Herman, all for the boss. He was in Tel Aviv, and there was a Chilul Shabbos going on, and he's standing in the street, and his lady he moved to Eretz Yisrael, and he starts screaming, Shabbos! Kol Ram. And as soon as he did that, the next thing he knew, there was a movie camera. Some of these Friar guys called the movies, and they started taking pictures of him. There he is. He's on. There's a big thing, TV. Now everything he does, they're going to make a big chayzik of him. See this crazy man, and he's screaming in the streets. Look at him, Meshugana. He's screaming Shabbos. They wanted to make a chayzik of him. So his daughter, Rachama, was there. She's the one that wrote the book, All for the Boss, Mrs. Shane, Allah Shalom. And she says, Papa, they're putting you on television, they're making fun. Look what they're doing. As he's yelling, like, with his long beard, he looked funny, And they're they're putting him on the television, they're going to make a chayzik out of him. And he's religious Jew, and he's screaming in the streets like a nutcase. You know what he said? Let them do it. When I pass away from this world, and they're going to ask me, what did you do for the Kavod Shamayim? I'm going to say, okay, give me that TV camera. Look what I did. That's what he said. But I don't know why you need the TV camera. Abish is watching every move you make. Anyway, here comes the story. I come to Dallas. The name of the place, it's a suburb of Dallas, it's called Plano. A big tzaddik runs it, a real sweet person. His name is Rabbi, Rabbi Nasanel. Zekar, Rabbi Nasanel Zekar. He's a big tzaddik, a tighter man. He was Meiser Nefesh to go out there. He has a kehillah there. He has 45 balabatim, the sweetest Bali Tshuva, holy. It's unbelievable what's going on. The Abbas Yisrael and the Torah and the Yerushalayim. I met this boy there. He's 32, and he's finally getting engaged, Be'ezer Hashem. I says, tell me about your Be'ezer Hashem, your kala. Give a bracha, b'shot tov matzlachas. He says, tell me about it. You know what he tells me? The first thing he tells me is she's God-fearing. And then he says, midos. I says, you ever go to yeshiva? Never. The guy barely knows Aleph Beis. He has long hair a little bit. Nothing terrible, but he's not. And the first thing he says that she's God-fearing. I went berserk. I was so overwhelmed with emotion. Abishta, I says, look who you have in this world today. The guy that went to yeshiva and he's 32 and he wants to get married. The first thing, she's God-fearing. She has Yiras Shamayim. He doesn't, I wonder if he knows Aleph Beis. I've been talking to him. Look at him. Look what the Abishta has. What Klal Yisrael is, how wonderful they all are. Anyway, so I come to this place. Now my wife asked me, how was it? I spoke several times. My wife says, how was it? Did you speak good? Did you speak? One of my speeches, someone comes up, Mendel, it was great. They loved it. And then I heard some clapping over there, but there's a snushim. Oh. I said the right thing. You know what I said, by the way? I got up and I said, Abaisai, I love this place. They're wonderful people and the food's great. And, by the way, I know what good food is because my wife is the best cook in Lakewood. So all the ladies started clapping. Chazal say, Noshim you say something nice about one, they all take it personal. They'll feel, this man understands what you're supposed to. They're right, by the way. You're supposed, but the lady, I've seen that before. Ladies like it when you say something nice about your wife. They all feel good about it. Anyway, so I said the right thing. Then my wife's cooking. My wife didn't mind at all, by the way. That's an old story. She knows that I tell the whole world about her. I'm an open book. I'm always talking about, I was once at a kiddush somewhere, and the guys want to serve me cholent and Shabbos. And I says, I don't eat cholent because my wife's cholent comes first. And my wife's cholent is holy stuff. In fact, before you eat my wife's cholent, I hold you got to go to the mikveh. That's what I said. And then I came up to tell it to my wife. Tell her, this is what I'm saying about you behind your back. I says, how do you like my stuff? Do you believe me? She believes but do you like? She says, it's fine. Keep doing it. She'll live with it. Anyway, but my wife asked me, how did it go? How did it go? Did you do a good job? They paid your ticket, you feel achrayas. By the way, the reason why they asked me to go there is someone else had come who's, we're connected, right? And they're hoping I could be like him. You know what kind of pressure that is on me? I gotta be like him. And they're paying me money. And I'm going for Shabbos. And I gotta speak. And I'm not used to speaking to Bali Tshuva. You can go, I have plenty of stress. Don't worry about it. The only thing is, I fapak the whole world. Being a good Novandiga, I couldn't care less. I don't care. What's gonna happen? They're gonna say I'm not as good as the other guy. No. So I'll be a Leisha Samach. That's good. So I'll be an Aaron. I'll be happy with the other guy. So what can happen? I'll get Bizyanis. They'll say, Mendel can't speak to save his life. So I got Bizyanis. I mean, the truth is, I probably am Gevaldik. That's the real truth. I probably did a fantastic job. There's no question about it. You know what I said? I got up and I said, Rabbi say, people my age, they get disoriented. They forget. Is today Tuesday? What's today? They mix up dates. They mix up everything. Now, I'm not into any of that stuff. In fact, I'm more sharp than I used to be. When I was a kid, I used to do those things. Now, I'm starting to become normal over the years. And now, finally, I'm getting the dates and the time. I'm finally straightening out. I have a different way of thinking, by the way, everybody say. I don't believe in getting old. I believe that's a myth. If you think you're getting old, you get old. But if you're not into it, it's all up to your head. If you think you're a great guy, you have to work on this your whole life. Every day write down, I'm a great guy. I'm Givaldi. And believe it. You'll see, you'll function better. Anyway, so I told them that the one thing that I do forget, this I'm not good at. Throughout the year, I'm mixing up Adar. I'm always saying, today must be Purim, no? That's my only weakness. I'm always Purim, by me is Purim, by God's you. I'm always, can I have a bottle of this? How come you're always drinking? Isn't today Purim? I thought, it's not. So that's my only, issue. I got issues. Everything's an issue nowadays. My issue is I'm mixing up Purim with. Listen to this one. My wife wants to know. The ladies were just at the one drasha they all came for Shabbos morning, but otherwise loved up. My wife kept asking, how did you do? How did you do? How did you do? A lot of pressure. You did good, you didn't do, they liked you, they didn't like you, you made a good impression, they said you're a great guy, they said, they took out pillows while you spoke, I agree there's what to be concerned about. In fact, if a normal person wouldn't go there in the first place. It's stress. You gotta go. And not only I go, I daven they should do this. The only reason I was there is because my tefillas, I'm begging Hashem, I want to go out for Klal Yisrael. Suddenly this person offers me, and there I am. So, I want to do this more. I want to do this every single Shabbos. I want to be somewhere else, where I could accomplish something with Klal Yisrael. To me, that's Kodesh Kadosh. In my books, I don't know about you guys, helping other Jews, it's chutzim you're going to get. There's people who don't know what Shabbos is, don't know nothing. You come out there, you machazik them, you know what you're doing. Anyway. But my wife wants to know how well I did. My friends, it went good? How did it go? How did it go? I say like this, listen to me. By me, it went great before I left. I know it's gewaldig. I don't ask nobody. Don't complicate me. I like to be a simple guy. Get me complicated. I can't deal with being complicated. I'm a simple guy. What Yaakov is tam. Hasidim say, Tamimus is the best midah there is. A tam. Don't be such a chacham. That's why they make fun of the chacham for the manashtan. What do you want from the guy? He's the only normal guy in the family. You want a Russia? You want a Shani Delisho who can't open his mouth like a nutcase? Or a tam of a nebuch? So, the only normal one's the chacham. And what are they doing with this chacham? They make fun of him. A chacham for the manishtana. I wonder why is everybody made? You know why? Because when it comes to believing in the Yebishter, the chacham's bad guy. You're not supposed to be smart. You're supposed to be a tovim. Rabbi Miller once told me I was working on something. He said, well, that will make you smart. But I recommend menuchas hanefesh, believing in Hashem, having bטחון. There's a chazal that says, the Eibishter gave us chachma, bina, I think it's the Tanit of Eliyahu. Chachma, bina, das, and haskel was given to Klal Yisrael for what? To use for bטחון. All your seichel using that, put kaiches in believing in Hashem. It's the best. Reishis chachma, yiras Hashem. Get that type of chachma. You'll be happy. You'll live longer, and you know it's worth investing time and kaiches in Musa. It's worth it. It's worth it. Musa, I mean bטחון, Musa. It's so kedai, so kedai. You live with Hashem, you're in a different world. You're so much happier. It's good for your blood pressure. It's good for your heart. It's good for your lungs. It's good for your bones. It's good for your head. It's good for everything. You live because you have the Eibishter in you. It's a different world. Anyway. So I automatically did great. Beshita. I hold, I did great. That's how I hold. And I didn't ask one person, how did I do? How did I do? How did I do? Did they like me? Did they like me? Did I smile good enough? Did they? None of that stuff. I did great, and that's final. I paskin. That's it. I seriously do these things all the time. I'm gewaldig. No. I'm gewaldig. I can tell you why I do that. And I would recommend you all do it. I do it because first thing is you have to go against your nature. Shviras Hamidus. Number one. If you are negative and you feel, oh no, I'm probably going to mess up because I don't know what to say. By the way, in the middle I was a little bit concerned. These guys are out of town. I'm not used to that crowd. I know. I don't want to make them tick. Are they going to be happy? Right?
they need to have their own needs. I don't know what. So I was a little concerned. But still, I talk and I have bטחון that I'll say the right thing. So two things over here. First of all, I need to be a positive person. Your nature is to tell me I did a bum job, you messed up. I go the opposite extreme, I did great. That's Aleph. Beis, bטחון says, I did good. I have bטחון. Als midas, als bטחון, I do that. And else it's a schooler. You say that, it's going to be like that. So it's worth it on all fronts to say you did well. And for your sanity, you're working for Hashem. You're not looking for covet from people. I am looking. That's why I try hard to do well. It inspires me to be careful to say to do it right. And I care a lot. But on the other hand, I don't really care either because I'm an Abishter soldier. You're an Abishter soldier. It's such an easier life. If you're busy, my Yemru, did they like me? They like me. You go, sugar. I would have gone out of my mind with that. If not for bטחון, I had to learn a lot of Musa when I was there. I was always learning Musa. First I had bטחון, the next speech will be good, and I davened for it. And then I had a lot of bטחון. I'm not going to worry. You care what people think. Oh, you're so worried about people's opinions. And what happens if you messed up? If you did mess up, you'll get bezyanis. Bezyanis takes away all your sins. It's a matanim and a shamayim. And then you have a schus of be mezaka the rabim, kol mezaka the rabim and chet val yodai. A schus of being mezaka the rabim zil's nefesh. He took a trip all the way to Dallas, Texas, to be makar people out there. I gave away my Shabbos of Klal Yisrael. I would recommend everybody follow me. Everybody go along. You're going to sit there. Now I'm going to be a little bit nasty. Be my choming. I'm going to say my shitas. And before I say my shitas, I'm going to tell everybody here that please ignore me if it's not for you. And I don't care if you mavatal me and make jokes out of me. You may need to do it. If you're not ready to do what I'm going to push you to do, then please ignore me and say, I got different shitas, Mendel, and leave me alone. Okay, now, you know that was Shol Salanta's yahrzeit. It was just Parashat Mishpatim as his yahrzeit. Now, Shol Salanta was a balachs. My Zayda, Rabbi Yaakov Tedesco Zatzal, was a French Jew. And I'm named after that. My namesake was raised in a Tedesco home. My namesake's mother was a Tedesco girl. She was Nebuch Nifta Young. He was a Shtikl Yosem, the one I'm named after. And he was raised by an uncle. Whatever. But we're from that family. We're from Tedesco. Tedesco was a mechutin with Reb Shamshon and Fall Hirsch. I'm crazy over Reb Hirsch than me. That's why. I don't know. I'm from the Yekker side, by the way. You know that? If you ever notice that sometimes my jokes are, that's the reason. I'll blame it on, my mother was a Yeki. A real hardcore Yeki who did the chop. My father made jokes day and night. And I was once told, somebody had my problems when I was, whatever, someone said, who knew my parents, said, I think you got to try to be a little more like your father, who knows how to make jokes a little, because I was serious. By the way, my mother was the biggest tzaddikus in the world. And you know what she used to do for my father? She used to build him up. That's unusual. But she built him up. She made him, he was a great person without her, but she was Moshe Nefesh for him. And she got no covet. My father got all the covet. He was charismatic. He was geshmak. He made jokes. My mother, she loved to see him get covet. Not everybody could do that. Nowadays, everybody wants covet. My husband, okay, but whatever. What about me? All right. My mother was totally selfless. But I must say she did have a chesron. She never chopped my father's jokes. She wasn't perfect. That was the one thing that, unfortunately, my mother, was not the perfect mother. She did not chop my father's joke, or not the perfect wife. And I tell you, my father was such a letz, and he used to come home trying to tell her over his latest joke. And she looked at him with a blank look, like, what's that? Can you explain that to me? And my father, oh, please, do me a favor. Try to chop what I'm saying. And my mother looked at him like, who? In Yekeland, they didn't know what jokes are. What? What's a joke? Okay, so let me get it. You have a dictionary? What's this all about? And my mother didn't chop it. I tied him, my father's ain't a roya penei gehenim. He never, to have a wife, if you're that type and your wife never chops a joke, never. By the way, they say Rav Nosson Bachtvogel and his wife had the same type of situation. He was funny and she was, one of those. But they say about my mother, my brother told me, it's not true. Mommy did chop the jokes. 3 o'clock in the morning, she suddenly burst out laughing. She finally got the joke. Belated. Imagine that. My father had a hard life. She said, anyway, okay. I'm joking. But let's get back. Where were you up to? We're talking about the covet. So the covet that you get the zionist, you go out for Klal Yisrael. What a schus it is. Give away a Shabbos, to give other Yidden a Shabbos. Reb Meir Herskowitz told me, you're wondering if it's right to get into Kiruv? It's B'koach Nefesh. He screamed at me. Reb Meir Herskowitz, an Edel Yid. B'koach Nefesh. They tell me, what? Kiruv. Well, you want to know, first of all, how do I get into Kiruv? Novandik. If you want, a real Novandik is involved in Kiruv. I'm sorry. I don't know what kind of Kiruv. Building yeshivas, which is the Lakewood way of Kiruv. Rav Nosson Bachtvogel said he's afraid he'll never get out of Gehenna because he didn't build Kolim in every city where Jews live. And the Shita was not lav dafka to go out and be Makar. Although I'm saying there's nothing wrong with that either. I don't know if that's what's wrong with that, but the Shita, the official, when I was in Kabul, just being in that city, not in Lakewood, in some far off place where there's Jews that don't really have such a community, and you will be mashpia just by learning without doing anything for them. That answers a lot of kashas, because there are people who are against Kiruv, and they quote, the B'Shel Salanta said, if you learn Torah in Kovna, it goes all, and the Yidden in Paris have from it. I'm a little bit not so great with that, although I have to be great because when the Hanhola of Lakewood used to beg me to go out, I didn't go. I was molasses like all the other guys. There were people who went out. A lot of guys went out. Lakewood gets a lot of credit for a lot of Torah going on in the world. But Lubavitch is the Chavetz Chaimnikas. They're trained. That's Slabotka Shita. Slabotka and Novandik. Go out. And Rav Nosson, go out. Rabbaran! I checked, thorough checkup. Rabbaran cut the sheet that was to go out. Anybody want to challenge me? I had to talk with Rabbi Yaakov Eliezer Schwartzman himself, the Anikel, told me, hey, take a look at Mishnas Rabbaran Chelik Gimel. He says somebody who learns Torah in order to go out, it's a different Torah. I know somebody whose father did not go to Lakewood because he was afraid Rabbaran would send them out. They went out, I'm sorry. And Reb Shneya used to beg. And Reb Nosson used to beg. Reb Yehuda Jacobs used to beg. Out. I myself witnessed Yungalite when they left, how they're thriving in an out-of-town community. How much happier they are. And how did I get into this? Because I have witnessed hundreds and hundreds of Yungalite, not only from Lakewood, from all over the world, Hasidisha, Litvisha, all kinds. And I see in every one of them, the lion's share of them, if they would be out somewhere, they'd have a different world. They'd be so much happier. First of all, self-esteem is right there. You don't have to come to Mandel's Vadim. You get self-esteem. The whole world's asking you questions. You're a different Bria. You don't even know who you are until you've been. I saw with my own eyes a younger man who was bitter and broken. He had a past that wasn't so great. I saw him before and I saw him after. You couldn't recognize him. People running over to him from all over asking him answers. He's a different person. He was fully blossoming. The shalom bias improves. The kids are better. The people are afraid of the kids. Baron Kotler gave a haftacha. Whoever goes out, the kids will be okay. Reb Nosson told us to me. The Baron held from going out big time. No one can tell me different. The only thing is this. Don't tell me what Lakewood Sheet is. The only thing is, I b'shum oifen. There's one agenda I have more than this stuff going out for Klal Yisrael. That is, don't tell people depressive Musa. Don't tell people Musa that's not for them. I don't care how good it is. Therefore, I'm going to, as usual, speak on two sides of my mouth. And I'm going to say, what's wrong with not going out? I didn't go out. And all the guys on Lakewood, they're going to, Muftach lahem sheyesh lahem olam haba. They stay because they're afraid of Kedusha. I don't blame them. And whatever, I'm on their side. No. Kodesh Kedoshim. The only thing is, if you have havminus of leaving, and the olam is so, you're hearing all over, you don't have to go out. And you're afraid that you're not doing das Torah by going out. Boy, do I have a case proving the extreme opposite. Boy, do I have support all over the place, especially in Lakewood. Rabbi Yehuda Jacobs was bitter. He had a long talk with me. He was bitter. He said, they don't belong, they have to go. He said, but there's always good. No, he held on, nobody was right. Come on, he told me, halavai. And I argued with him. No, halavai, they're not, they have to go, it's the best thing for them. And Klal Yisrael, Meir Hershkowitz said, it's because Nefesh. You need Askamas Viz, Rebel Bachpo, who gave me such chizuk on this, because I have these dreams. Yes, all the way, not shayach. I have to worry. I spoke to more, all the Talmidei Rabbarim, one after another. I'm clear where I'm holding. Take a look at Mrs. Rabbarim, you need more. Rabbarim, I know a Novandiga, Reb Kalman Goldberg himself, who was one of the Alta's Cossacks. Rabbarim pushed him out. He made him close his Gemara. He made him close his Gemara. You want to read it? The family put out a book on him. He was a tzaddik yisraelim. Rabbarim used to sell the chametz through him. Rabbarim loved him. He was a goyin. Rav Henkin held from him. He was one of the biggest guns in America. He was a Rabbarim. And Rabbarim pushed him to go out. And in the book of Rabbarim, Yisrael Dershowitz wrote, he writes the way the Rabbarim used to kibitz all the Gdolei Torah. No, why aren't you doing for the Klal? You know that Avram come. Guess who was into Klal work? Chavetz Chaim. You need more than that? Chavetz Chaim loved Nevada. He said they're always building new yeshivas. If anybody has any avenues going out, don't you feel guilty? I don't know who has to feel guilty around here. But the guys who go out, they have to feel guilty. The other guys, the kashan. Where'd you suddenly get a sheet that you not go, where'd that come from? That's the chiddush. And Lakewood for sure. They used to beg us. Reb Shnei used to call me in. And Reb Nosson used to call me in, beg me. And Rabbi the Jacobs and Rishel is quoted. She said, Lakewood is a transient community where you need, you have to. So I'm coming in defensive. I'm not money, guys, everybody go out. No, I'm not going to do that. Especially I didn't go out. But I have a little guilt after all these years. Maybe if I make this speech, maybe still will. If Reb Nosson was afraid he's never going to get out of Gehenna because he could have done more in this area, so I'm allowed to be worried and say, my books, why'd you go out? Now I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to get very nasty. Dylan's going to hate me for this one. You want to hear a bitter on me this? You want to hear a bitter on me this? Here goes. What's his name? In Novandiga, they used to take you apart. You know that there was a guy that used to chepa all the Ion. This guy in Yerushalayim, he was a sharp guy. He used to make fun of all the guys who learned Be'iyun. And I once spoke to Adam Gadol Ma'od about that. He said, I learned being kvetch, you don't know nothing. You know what he told me? Do you know why he talks like that? He's not good in Iyun. So he puzzles all the young guys. Because you're not good in Iyun. You have an issue. So no, you hate all the Iyun guys. You're good in Bekiyas, everyone's puzzled. People work with Negiyas. 90% of all your shitas are, you make a shita out of a shortcoming. You have a shortcoming. You're not good in Bekiyas, so you don't hold from Bekiyas. You don't hold from it. What if a guy is good? You're not good in learning. You're good only in chesed. So all the guys who learn are upgefragt. Because you're good in the chesed. You have ADHD. All the guys who live in learning are puzzle. Or the other way. The guy who learns day and night, the masbid who's shy, who doesn't do favors too much, he's too not into things. Bali chesed, they're no good. They're batlanim. You gotta learn. Each guy says what's good for him. They're all puzzle. Not one guy's using his own head. Nobody. They're using what pays for them to hold. The shitas they have are totally the way they were raised. You can be raised with a certain mentality. Just like I told you, when the East and the West got together on the international big building, all together, Americans together with the Japanese, we had a whole big thing. I don't know what it was. Some conventions they had there. And all the Japanese, the Far East Chaver, were drinking tea, and all the Western guys were drinking coffee. And all the Western guys said, you guys are crazy, tea? Coffee. And they would say, oh, coffee, tea. So do you think anybody has any brains? This guy, since he's born, and you see everybody drinking tea, tea. This guy, since he's born, all he sees is coffee. All shitas are not really brains. They're just olam golam, maisa kaif. Oh, I don't care what it is. Even learning. You're raised. They're all they talk about all day is learning. So I hold learning. You hold learning because you've heard that. And everyone's doing it. Or you're chassidish somewhere and everyone's in Simcha over there. Ich halt mit Avzam Simcha. Where do you hold from? You heard it all day. From all your, ich halt mit Avtin Chasudim. Ich halt. Everybody shita is not ich halt. It's what you're hearing or mainly what's good for you. What makes you come out ahead. What makes you the good guy. Now I want to warn everybody here. I will say just the opposite right now as usual. There are many people who are busy looking at everyone else's shita and admiring them and say, that's what you really should be doing. And I'm doing the wrong thing. I want to warn you. A guy like that has to be a narrow-minded guy that says, no. What I do is the right thing. He needs to be narrow-minded b'shita. Or else, because he has a different issue. Each, in the Novehardok, take everybody apart. You need this, you need that. Some people need to be narrow-minded. In fact, I push that even more than the other way. I said, no, yeah, with your negiyas. Yes. That's my negiya, and I hold, that's the emes, and everyone else is puzzle. Now, after a while, at a certain point, it might be Kedai to tap you on the shoulder, tell you, well, thought the other guys might not be the end of the world what they're doing, and maybe I don't know when you'll be up to that. It may never happen in this Gilgal, because you're so insecure about what you're doing that you need to be told 24/7, what I do is Kiddush Kedai. And you need to do that. You need it. You must do it all your life and not be geiris anyone else. What I do is richtig and everyone else is baloney. Look, the Abishah told Aaron, Shelcha Gedolim Shelahem. All the Nasiim, apostle compared to me. Abishah told it to him. He was Chalishas Adas. He saw they were better than him. Abishah said, no, you're better than them. It's a chazal. Some people need, Rabbi Feldman told me he loves, I quoted this chazal, he holds it, Kiddush Kedoshim, I could quote him, that he holds a belt from it. Every person should go around saying, I am the best guy in the world, all the other guys are nutcases. Okay, watch what you do. Don't tell the guy to his face that, be careful. But for yourself, if your sanity is, if you're starting to feel, I'm a nebuch guy who's single. A nebuch single guy is at the top of the world. You married guys are mishugayim. Chovos HaLevavos says this. All the single guys have to hold that it's rachmanis on all the married guys. Pashetzach, all the married guys have to hold all the single guys are nebuch. And all the poor guys have to feel, all the rich guys are nebuch. Yeah, it's flying all over, you have no friends, you think they like you only for your money. Baruch Hashem, I'm poor. Chovos HaLevavos says this. And all the rich guys have to say, nebuch. A poor guy, you never give tzedakah, you never give. Can anybody give these out? Give these out. Rabbi say, take. It's a schooler. Take it to shuls. Anybody want to give some out? Take. No? Anybody want to take some? Want to take? Pass them out. Pass chunks of it. Anyway, they're gewaldig, by the way. This is one of my favorite. Anyway, so, all right. So you have to defend yourself. And if Mandel is saying, and I got to tell you, if Mandel is saying that you got to go out, and you're not holding there, you got to say, no, that's his mishigas. I'm fine with that. You may need to say that. But for those people that are actually going out, and you have to have a Rebbe, I want to make a big case in that direction. Especially since I'd like to invite whoever wants to join me. I want to start giving away my Shabbosim to go away to be Mechazik Yidden all over the place. So Salanta went to Paris. He took a trip to Paris. He was the one that said, when you learn here, that you're going to help people in Paris get from. So why did he go to Paris? Avakasha, no. He went out, and he went to Amsterdam to be Makar of them. They were Michal Shabbos, and he turned them around. He went out, no. If you're afraid to go out because there's some guys with their shitas, I'm coming in defense big time. I'll support you. The Kalavar Rebbe, they say he made 600,000 people put on film. Kalavar Rebbe, Ashrei Cholkei Shavafur Shalema. The Mavakesh Emuna Rebbe in Yerushalayim, every 40 weeks out of the year, he spends his Shabbosim, he fears Tish and all these far-flung little townlets all over Eretz Yisrael. He gives away his Shabbosim, he comes with his Rebbetzin to give it for Klal Yisrael. These are my people. That's Shitas Novandik. That's Shitas Lakewood. And don't ask how many more hold like this. There's nothing. The Chavetz Chaim thinks for sure. Now, the reason why people shy away from that Shita is the number one reason. No one's doing it. Not enough people. And why aren't they doing it? I'll tell you the reason. I'm going to get so nasty, you're going to want to throw me out of here in a second. Because they're shy. And the true reason, in Negias, you're shy. Don't say you got cheatas. But he said, yeah. You're shy. You're afraid of the world. You're afraid of everybody. And therefore, come join Avadik. And you're breaking me this, they told me in Avadik? Reb Nosson said this. Reb Nosson said he saw a Bachar and Sabrach and a Chebra. As soon as he put them into Tzarchei Tzibur, all the issues disappeared. And Avadik, I heard the same thing. You want to get rid of all the kinna type of COVID issues? Throw yourself in the Klal Yisrael, you become a new person. It's for yourself. I don't know if Rabbi meant for yourself. That the Mashgichim have that sprach. The Rabbi held it's Klal Yisrael. The Meir Hirschwitz told me, how could you not hold like this? It's a Pekuach Nefesh. The Belabev Bach pushed me in the worst way. Of course you got to do these things. What's the question? Why can't? Now, I would like to get a group of 100 people to come to a place. First of all, now I'm going to be honest with you, Rabbi said. Please don't be upset. But the real reason, I also have Negias. What the real Negia underneath everything is, I have a hard time getting to school on time. Because there's so many guys living here, and all these buses with these cute kids, and the mothers, hi, Babala, and I have to wait till she says goodbye to her Babala. And that 2-year-old double, it takes a year till she gets on the bus, and I can't hold out. And I've got to get to school with these Babalach and Shbabalach, and they're all over the place. It's not pushing. So that's the real reason. Now I gave myself away to the public. That's the real reason why I'm such a Zika Ram. Everybody get out of Lakewood. They need you. It's a mitzvah. Rabbi Aaron held like that. So I'll get you all out of here. Then I'll be able to have a good time getting to school on time. I'm joking. There's a little truth over there. But I'm joking. Anyway, anything you could do for the Rabbim. Anything. It changed my life. I was given a drach. I ran after Gedolei Yisrael all my life. And I ran after Kelm, Slobodkin, Novandik, Chaim Berlin especially. And all the biggest of the big in those schools. The biggest alive. And I spent hours. And when I'm speaking, you're not speaking to a guy who has his opinions here. You're speaking to Mamish Das Torah. I mean, that's not a joke. The only thing, there's one Das Torah that overrides all Das Torahs. Don't listen to a shmooze. That's not for you. And that way, there I'm going to be mafrech myself. Minei obey, especially since I never went out. And don't worry. If you're not holding, just forget it. And you'll find, you'll get Ilam Haba without the whole shmooze. But, hopefully, for your own good, I have gotten younger light with my Bטחון weeklies. I have saved lives one after another by pushing people into Zikya Haram. I've saved people. I don't want to give away, some people might not like it. But this much I'll say. This guy was in the emergency room for a serious, serious issue until Mandel got a hold of him and get into Zikya Haram. And it disappeared. It's 2 years already. He's a new person. I pushed him into Zikya. I have another guy. His life was destroyed. I got him involved in Zikya Haram. He is bubbling with simcha and energy. I got the guy into Zikya Haram. He's a new person. I have people thriving. They put them on their feet. One, Galumbic, no Milon Godel, that everybody knows. All these people, I don't know what the matzah before, but just saying, a lot of people, they would be, and you get now, people say, I'm not roy for this. I'm not holding by. I'm not roy. I was not roy at all. I am super quiet. It's my wife. And my Rabbeim pushed me. Reb Gershon Liebman pushed me to become a Rebbe. If not for Reb Gershon Liebman, no way. Reb Shnei used to beg me to go to different yeshivas. I never listened. But through the years, I became a little smarter. Now, when I was told, do for others, and I remember one of my Rabbeim, him and his Rebbe were trying to figure out, what can we get this guy to do? He can't do anything. I promise you, I went through this. And I was like, afraid. I used to talk all day about my issues. I was issue, mitchila vatzayf. I had so many issues. I'll get you on the rebound. That issue, okay, that's good. Okay, now wait till this one. I got worse problems. I was loaded with my issues. And my Rebbe pushed me into Zikya Haram, and I did a lot of tefillah. By the way, a lot of davening, Eibishter helped me. I started a little tiny vad, and suddenly my vad started exploding only with tefillah. Then I said, I need help. Suddenly, Galumbic pops up. And then suddenly I need this, I need that. And now I'm on the radio. And suddenly we get Rabbi Yosef Yapi, one of my favorite Gabayim. I have so many Gabayim. I don't know how to deal with them. I'm joking. I went to Dallas. You think I came alone? 2 Gabayim came along. Made such an impression. Wow, we got a big Rebbe. By the way, Rebbe's want money. And but you have no idea how difficult. I'm going to tell you what I started doing. I advise everyone, get into the cloud. Reb Chaim Volozhin's Redaldo and Kelm said, you want to be Zeicha Bedin. The Gain says, your very existence is because people need you. You live longer because you're needed. Make sure you're needed. Oh, but I'm shy. Oh, but I have so many issues. Oh, Rabbi Shai, listen to me. What I started doing was davening for problematics. this much I'll tell you. I don't want to give it away the exact, it might imply to somebody. Somebody had a mum that was obvious, and he was walking around with it for a long time. And one day I says, I'm going to save this guy's life. I davened hard. A month later, it disappeared. I found out later it was Yeramachla. And I saved the guy. He doesn't know who I was. And I put that on the record. I just did a mifus. I saved someone's life. That was the beginning. And I started doing more and more and more and more. I was once on the phone with one of my relatives. They had carpal tunnel syndrome. You know what that is? With the hand. As this person was talking, while I was talking to you, I felt better. I says, really? I know why. I was davening while I was talking. I got involved in tefillah. And I spent a lot of time believing in my own tefillahs. And I said, I'm going to save this one, that one, this one, that one. And I became a Baal Mifus. So first quiet, and with the years I started being Megala myself. Right now, I always say that everybody in Lakewood is a tzaddik Yisod Olam. The difference between me and them is I was Megala myself. That's the difference. I'm Begoli. Somebody once met me by the mikveh. He says, Mendel, I heard you wanted a Lamed Vav hidden tzaddikim. I says, who says I'm hidden? They all know me. I'm one of the, wherever you ever see a sign on Lakewood Tzaddik Boli? Yeah. You know what happened to me? Happened this morning. I got an aliyah in shul, and they said, they called me up for the Torah, and after they called me up, I said in front of the whole shul, I says, I'm very hurt that I didn't hear Hagoyim, I didn't hear Hatzadik. You just call the Yamai, Harab Yehуда Mendel, that's a joke. Harab is, what's going on? I said it B'Kol Ram, everyone should hear me. And then I said another Zach. If you get an aliyah, Erev Rosh Chodesh Adar Aleph, without making a joke, you weren't Yetzer Kriyas HaTorah. It's Erev Rosh Chodesh Adar, you have to make a joke. That's it. I said this in public. By the way, if not for Novandig, I could never do that. I would be so petrified. What are people going to say? But if you want to join me, I'll pull you out of your shell. And we'll get you all. We'll go out, take over the world. Who's coming with me next time I go to Dallas? I want an oilam with me to show I'm a big Rebbe. And we get told, there's somebody there who told me he has unlimited funds. Let's see what happens. I said, okay, I'm bringing 100 guys moving into Dallas. What did he say, Rabbi Yosef? He heard it. You were there. Unlimited funds. Who wants to come along? We'll build your houses. We'll make you happy. Everyone gets Stellas. Everyone's going to get it. You're going to be fine. We're going to Dallas or whatever it is. Maybe come along with me in my Shabbosim. I was already invited to Silver Spring, Maryland. They want me there too. Come along with me. I need to show them. And Rabbi Yosef, not only he came along, but he came along with the whole camera to show you, this Rebbe is. Every movie he makes, we have to watch what he's doing. Boy, they said, we really got a big fish. That's me. I'm a Rebbe. Now you want me to stop. I can see on your look on your face. Mendel has got to wrap up his Divrei Torah. Okay. Mighty Rabbi say, thank you so much for listening. And this Adar, everybody must start drinking. Or by a little meshuggah. Don't be afraid to be a little meshuggah. I'll tell you why. Anybody that thinks he's not meshuggah this day and age doesn't belong here. Everybody's a little nutty. You're allowed, at least for Adar, it's mutulach. Do something a little funny, make people happy. I took a big risk this morning, though. They said, who's this meshuggah? But they know me already. Oh, that's Mendel. I'm Mendel, that's Mendel. Yeah. I became already the official one of those. You know how much shy you get? The Gemara in Taina says, Elyon Avi said, these two Batchonim, they cheer people up. The B'nai Elam Haba. You want to get Elam Habas? Cheer up, everybody. First, daven. By the way, Pierre, how do you get such good jokes? I daven. I promise you, I daven. I once made jokes in my shul. I was never so good in my life. When I finished, the place was on the floor. That was super. When I finished my jokes, is that a hint? Did you do that? When I finished my jokes, a kid, a little boy. Oh, it's upside down. Look at this. I put it upside down. See? Hey, Lama Trinken. There's jackets available. Whoever wants a jacket covered Purim. And we're going to hang Haman this year, hang all the Yetzaharas in the garbage and Mordechai Atzadik. There's going to be a mail to Yosha for all of us. Get us out of all our pickles. And we're going to get involved in Zikr Rabim. What was I up to? Yeah. So I don't know how to make such good jokes. I promise it's a true story. On the way home, a kid, a sweetie, 11-year-old. He's sweet like sugar. I love him. He davens by us. And a real smiley kid. On the way home, he says, Rabbi Mendel, yeah, you know why you make such good jokes? Why? What? It was me. Oh, you? And another bar mitzvahs around town. How did that happen? Listen to this. He says he was on the bus, and the kid was mavaza him. And he says, I didn't answer. When he was mavaza me barabam, he made fun of me. I said, I'm dedicating that bazayin that Rabbi Mendel should make the best jokes. Imagine. These are my kids. Yeah, I'll tell you another story. One of my kids. The kids who daven by me, forget it. They're the biggest mitziyonim in Lakewood. Well, another kid, someone goes over to him and tells him, where do you daven? I daven Rabbi Mendel's Novandik Shar B'Tochem. Oh, how many people are there? That question, the kid, 11-year-old little bubby, sweetie, that question shows that all you care about is covet. That's not, we're not into that stuff. How many, how this, we don't believe in that stuff. You want to know how many, you know how much menuchas and nefesh you have if you don't worry. You know what Rabbanim do? You know Rabbanim are the worst basket cases, chas v'shalom. They're all tzaddikim, but they potentially, I know plenty like that. They tell me, who came? Why, how come he's not coming to me anymore? Who's going to a different guy? How many people were there yesterday? How many people? How many people? How many people? How many people? You guys don't like me anymore. Did I say something wrong? How many Rabbanim are tzabrochen because they don't get enough phone calls? You know that? They don't get, nobody's calling me. It's COVID! So you take COVID and throw it in the garbage. I don't want none of this garbage. I don't care how many people are there. They'll live longer and happier and healthier the same way. I spoke in Dallas. I did gewaldig. I don't even ask it. I didn't ask one person. How was it? Nobody. Someone came over to me. That speech was gewaldig. Okay. I know it was gewaldig. I need you. I'm gewaldig. As soon as I walk in, I serve the Eibishter, not people. The Eibishter likes what I did. I was my Zenevish. And if it didn't come out good, I'm even better. With him, I'm always good. With people, what does he think? Anything? Or he was looking at me. He holds for me. He doesn't. He's got my sugar. With covet. Moshe finds, he said, covet. It makes you my sugar. Don't give me no covet. When they give me, it's nice. As I'm clapping, I said something. The ladies liked what I said. I'll say it over. Listen to this one. I said, they said, Mendel, you got to cater more to the ladies. They asked me to stand. You know, the ladies. Right? So, because when they're from the husband, behind the scenes, they're controlling everything. I know that from my wife. I'm joking. But anyway, sorry. I said like this. I said, the Mishkan, the front of the Mishkan, says Rashi, looked like a colored snua. Right? You know the Rashi. The Urias looked like a... What's a colored snua doing in a holy Mishkan? Ladies, you belong at home. What are you doing in the middle of... This is Kaidesh Nehechel. What's a lady doing? It should be similar to a colored snua. Now, there's a Gemara in Shabbos that says the back of the Mishkan looked like the drape off a fancy lady walking in the street that the stuff is trailing down her. It's a Gemara in Shabbos. Vita lady. And that drape is right over Kodesh HaKadoshim. I said, ladies, I'm not getting involved. I'm going to get upshot when I'm in Lakewood. But I just want to leave you with that much. You want to think of what us guys think of ladies, because there's Bali Tshuva over there. And the lady is a big problem, because they have women's liberation Zachem going on. they're afraid that we don't hope from our ladies enough, you know. So I said that. Then I said one more thing. This Rabbi Hirsch said, you want to know what we think of our ladies? Yaakov Avinu labored 14 years to get those two ladies, Rachel and Leah. You know what a Yid thinks of his wife? Okay, I hope there's no Arabs listening to this one. There are Arabs listening to me, by the way. I know this for a fact. In fact, an Arab wrote me a whole letter, how much he loves me. Because the Arabs hold that I'm the good guy. But after I say this, you know when an Arab gets divorced? Takes a look at her. Boom, you're out of the house. It's just, there's no get. A house is a house. In a second, she's chattel. She ain't a real human. She has dogs, there's cats, there's cows, and there's ladies. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of good Arabs. I didn't mean you, the guys that are my Hasidim. I didn't mean you guys are all good guys. Your ladies are different. I know that. They're big tznuas. Anyway, but I said this to stick up for the ladies, and I got clapped. But nothing worked better than when I praised my wife's kugel. That was better than anything. So my wife is the best, makes the best children in Lakewood. The ladies, I made it so. And since I hit the ladies, now I know I'm going to be all right. You have to know how to, I'm going to tell you something. While I'm into that, I met the Tolas Aaron Rebbe's Gabbai. His name was Rabdon Schwartz. He was Adam Choshev Oid. He wrote a sefer in Shluch HaKan. He was a Bavus to gain in Talmud Chochem at Tzadik Yisoid Olam. I ate by him for Shabbos, and he told me, do you know why the Rabbaralach have such astounding success? Because they focus on the women. We make sure to have Choshev ladies. We put all our koiches, the ladies. And I want to tell you something. In Poland, they didn't do that. You had in the 100,000 Hasidim. The husband could wear a spudik, and the lady didn't cover her hair. I knew people like this. And she went with kurza abel. The ladies. You don't make away with the ladies. They got to be raising the kids. A lady that doesn't, so she's going to be raised. What are you going to end up with? Nothing. That's why Hitler came and attacked Poland. There was a reason for it. You don't take care of a lady. The men going to teach the Rebbe, learning and singing, and the ladies. You don't play games with ladies. You respect them like our women. The Lakewood ladies are the best ladies in the world. Everybody knows that. You know that there's a 12-step program. There are people who are addicted to Rahman al-Islam. They're very, very seriously addicted. Every town has loads of them. Lakewood has a whole share. I know the guy who runs it. He used to come to my van. He told me there's all kinds of Chassidim, Litvakis, Sfaradim, Russian, men, ladies. The whole world's in there. There's one person that's not there. There is not one koilel wife that's in that club. Did you hear that? You know what these koilel women are? Ashrei Cholkam. And the other ladies they're all good. And the men ain't bad either. Between you and me, I hold Achanach covered. Let's face it, the man. I told the guy he wanted to hear something nice about his wife. I don't want to talk about his wife. I says, I hold a lot from her. She has good taste. She married you. The biggest schwach of most of our ladies is, I'm joking. Ladies, be Michael. I didn't mean it. Don't take it the wrong way. Thanks for letting me speak an extra 11 minutes. And now I want to sign off. They want me to sign off. I give everybody a bracha that this Adar, we got double Adars. Go after it. Take along, you know what I do? I take along a pocket jack, a tiny jack or a tiny Johnny. I take these little bottles wherever I go. Like it says on Elisha Navi. Elisha Navi didn't like to, or Shmuel Navi, he didn't like to take from people, go to the house. He took, wherever he went, Beisoy Imoy. It means he took along his own food. So I do that. I have that minik, like the Nevi'im. And I take along a whole Adar wherever I go. No! Drink Alachayim! You know what schus you get when you make Yidden happy? You drink. You don't have to drink that much. It's just the idea to make people happy. But let me think. Everybody say l'chaim. I give everybody l'chaim, tevim, l'shalom. We should have the best Purim and a hapachu. All the peklach are going to the garbage. Shech tzidkenu, v'mheira v'yameinu. Amen.